Okay, everybody. Hi, welcome, everybody. Good morning. I'm going to start already. This session is being recorded. If something you want to go back, please feel free to do so. I do have to do a disclaimer. My dog is here. So if you hear her in the background, I'm very sorry. I've been out for 2 weeks, so she missed me a lot. Hi, everybody. My name is Ada Munoz. We're going to be doing Empowering Classroom Leadership and Financial Literacy, right? A little information. My name is Ada Munoz. I'm a fourth grade teacher at Kelly Farr Elementary. Woo-hoo! I've been teaching fourth grade for 8 years already. And I am very, very strong about making the students welcome and creating this very safe environment in my classroom. I'm pretty sure most of us do. So I'm gonna start with a question in the chat. How many of you have jobs in your classroom? How many of you? Put a heart if you like to try them because you've never done it before. Maybe you're a brand new teacher, a Cloud or a Raining. If it's not for you, you try it, but you really didn't enjoy them. And a happy with smiley face if you're a master in jobs and you love to do it. So if any, you can please start putting in the chat. Let me know through there. Have many of you have jobs in your classroom, which is a very common, right, of our classroom management techniques. Right, so I have Ms. Mercedes saying that she does use them. Check mark. Thank you so much. Anybody else, jobs in your classroom? Have you ever used them? It's not really for you, and that's okay. I just want to know more or less what kind of audience do I have. Um, Perfect, Miss Gabriela, happy face. So she's a master in jobs. Excellent. And I feel jobs are very common on elementary levels. Thank you. Miss Cynthia, thank you for being honest. You have used some jobs, but you're not a master in it. Perfect. Belinda's putting a heart. She would like to try more, right? Excellent, excellent. Or maybe she loves to do some. Thank you so much for participating. Okay, so talking about jobs, I know thank you, Liana, saying that she loves them too, that she would like to try them. My journey with classroom jobs has been all over the place through my 10 years experience. Thank you, Bianca, thank you, Susana. It's been, right? Perfect, right? We love it. I love Sesame Street. Um, so it's a journey. Every year is different. Every generation requires different things. This will be my third year using the jobs I'm about to show you, or the way that I do it. This will be my third year. So hopefully you like it. If you have any questions at the end, I would love to stay extra. I don't mind. Or we can meet at another time if you are from the district, right? Let's see. So let's begin. So the classic jobs are this ones, right? We've seen it in the classroom, teachers pre-teachers, friends of ours. We go to lecture and we find this type generator already classroom jobs, right? So we have the lunch helper, the bathroom patrol, the teacher assistants. We may have the pencil monitor, the attendant reminder, and all these are wonderful. And it all depends on your classroom and how you like to manage, right? Each of the classrooms, right? Thank you, Nava, for the answer. So what I'm about to teach you or show you is how to implement this that we already use and into make it in digital version, right? So hopefully you follow along. If you have any questions, please put in the chat. If Debbie doesn't say it, I'm allowed. I know I have a friend I have a couple friends in this session, so I know they will interrupt me and say, Ada, somebody asked this question. So let's begin. So do you know about Class Bank, formerly called Class Equity? If you did, put it in the chat. If you did not, say I have no clue. What are you talking about? Never heard of it before. So please let me know. Have you ever heard about class equity? Okay, Ms. Mercedes said, I have no clue. Ms. Maria says, no clue either. Never heard of it. Okay, perfect. I have a lot of newbies. Yay, I love it. So class equity or class bank, now called class bank, they changed it up this year. It is a website where you can create online banking. So if you use apps like, if you use your bank apps, I know Wells Fargo, Chase, Cash App, Zelle, those are bank apps, right, that we use digitally in our daily lives, right? So this is exposing our students to real life scenarios. And then at the same time, classroom management, financial literacy, and it's going to be wonderful. I hope you like it. The reason I started using Class Equity and Class Bank was because the previous website that you used to use changed prices and it became very expensive. And this is a very affordable, even I feel more teacher friendly website to use. So let's begin. I hope you love it, the information. So for those, and you're like, what? So right, so you can create jobs. So you through Class Bank, you post jobs, receive applications of your students, and you can then hire then your employees, right? Which aka your students. Then you can do classroom management. You pay them either bi-weekly or weekly or monthly will be your choice. You provide them with bonus, which is positive reinforcement. You can also apply fines, which is redirecting, right? Expectations and rules in our classroom, and you can build, which gives you the real world scenario that we are looking for, right? Financial literacy, the students can do withdrawals and deposit, which is they have to create their balance before they can use the store, which is there's a store, I didn't put it here. You talk about needs and wants, which is there is a store, right? So and then you talk about savings and then rent and all these wonderful things. So, and it's so easy. I know it sounds complicated, but it's very easy and very friendly to use. So let's start with the jobs. So the way I do the jobs in my classroom, every single one of my students will have a role. So if I have 18 students, I have 18 jobs available. If I have 25 students, I have 25 jobs available. If I have 10 students, I have 10 jobs available. Every single of my students will have a job, right? The other thing, I do make my students to apply for the position, and I'm going to show you right now through the website how to do that, right? They do apply for the position, and I may have misspelled books, students. They do mock interviews. I do have a wonderful colleague, Beatriz Gonzalez, in fourth grade. She loves to pretend to be human resources. So she will interview my students and ask them tough questions. Um, and then after that, she will tell me these are the students they applied for this job, and this is what the answers were. And then, of course, you as a teacher, at the beginning of the school year, you have a little sense of how the students are, if they're very responsible, if they need more redirecting. So you kind of try to look for those jobs that are very important in your classroom, like line leader, nurse. In my classroom, very important jobs are banker, supply manager, pencil management, library, messenger, and door holder and line leader. Those are like my seven main ones, right? That means I need very responsible people and attendance. And they need very responsible people, very responsible students that are willing. Some students transform 360 for to provide you with the quality employee that you're looking for. So it's very interesting to see it. And then the last but not least, I invite Ms. Gonzalez, who's been doing it for years. She invites previous year students or employees to share their experience to the new hires. So they're like, oh, I used to be the librarian, and this is what I did for my job, and this is what I earned. I used to be the door holder. This is what it means. These are the challenges, right? So, so far, so good. So let me start showing you how does it work. So you go to the website that is called, I'm sorry, Class Bank. Let me move this over here. There you go. Okay, that is called Class Bank. And I can put the link for you in the chat just in case you want to explore it with me. There you go. Okay, perfect. So it's called Class Bank, how I say, formerly Class Equity. You go to log in, you are a teacher. Now you don't need, you can use your credentials. You log in as with your Google account. So if I log out, let me just do it from the beginning. So I log in, I'm a teacher. In this case, if you're brand new, you never used it before, as I noticed some of you did not. So you go to the sign up and then you follow the steps, right? So I continue as a teacher. I use sign in with your Google, right? And there it is. So this is the bank I used last year. And I do have a video for my students to show you later on. So this is my last year. Last year I have a 20 employees. I did get some extras. So this will be my classroom from last year. Now we were talking about the jobs, correct? So let me show you. So if you notice, I even have more than 20 jobs because I did hire substitutes. Well, when we have attendance problems, that's how we work. So you go to jobs and then you put add a job, right? It right there, it gives you the job title. You provide whatever title you want to, the position, if it's full-time or part-time, and the salary. I use $35 bi-weekly to all my employees except my banker. My banker gets $45 a week. I type the responsibilities. So guess what? What do I use? AI, of course. I use any of the AI and I ask them, please create responsibilities for fourth grade students to understand about this type of job, right? And then qualifications as well. Now, let me show you, and then you add the job and you post it and the students apply. So I'm gonna show you one of the jobs that I did at the beginning. Sometimes students will withdraw and I will have to create jobs very quickly and it's very fast. So I didn't add descriptions and all of them. But let me do the financial advisor. I think I do have the description there. No, let me see. It was the progress manager. There you go. So for example, the progress manager, this is a student who arrived middle of the school year. And then I start using him. His job was to um, help me with the data folders, right? To upgrade and all that. So be prepared to substitute for any students who are absent due to illness, uh, appointments, or other reasons, maintain a record of attendance, assist students in understanding and completing assignments, foster a positive and inclusive classroom, and he will get paid $35, right? And then they do apply. So let me show you one of my students' applications right here. So for example, Sophia applied to be the meteorologist, and their own website tells you what experience or qualifications make you the best candidate. Soy buena en este trabajo. Why do you want to this job? Para ayudar a Felipe cuando Felipe falte. So Felipe was my formal meteorologist, and then I was looking for somebody else because his attendance wasn't perfect. So I needed somebody else so he can help me. Meteorologist will help me not only posting the temperature and how the weather will be during the day based on our daily news the school provides, but I also will be sure, like if it was too hot, there was a temperature we have range. He would not allow students to go with jackets outside to recess, or wear jackets if it was too cold, or if it was raining, he has us ready for inclement weather lines and stuff like that. Right? Depends on your school. So this is how posting jobs works. Anybody has any questions? Because I know I tend to talk very fast. So if you have any questions, you want to post it in the chat, let me know. So far, so good. What do you think? This is just posting the jobs and looking at the applications. Once you select somebody, you hire the student, right? And the other one will go to the other side. Any questions about how to post jobs? No, we're good. Nobody? Any questions? So far, so good. Yes. My questions has to do with the amount of money. Okay, perfect. So the amount was something we decide. So far, so good. Why did you choose 35? Okay, so the amount, we was between Miss Gonzalez and I, and the reason we choose 35 and 45 was because of and I'm gonna show you right now in the next slide, was because of how much the students, we make the students participate, right? So when we are doing the next part, which is going to be the classroom management, right? It's where we do the bonus and the fines. I do have a conversation with my students about how much do you think this should cost, right? So based on what they did for the rent, and I started with the rent. So I started, let me go back to my classroom and let me go to the setup. So I start with the bills. That's the one I started with. So I start with the bills and I ask my students, how much you think you should pay for air conditioning? Because these are non-conditional. My students need to pay me these every single month, right? Or every 2 weeks, depends how you decide to charge them rent, right? So the bills that they come up with were air conditioner, internet, rent. So they rent for the desk, chair, and classroom, right? And I have some very smart students that are like, Miss, what about if I'm standing up all day? So I save money. And I'm like, no, no, no. Whether you use your desk or not, you still have to pay rent. And then utilities like water, light, trash services. So I asked the students, and these are the amounts they use. You add it up and you have to give your students extra money. It depends. Maybe your students are like $50, $25, $75, $82 for the utilities because they hear their parents talking about maybe, oh, we pay so much water or the electricity now that it's summer, right? The electricity went all the way up. So this is why I choose 35. And then I always try to give 10 extra dollars to my banker because I feel the banker has a very big responsibility because he or she is in charge of paying the students. So if you choose poorly your banker, you may get some extra charges or extra bonuses and their friends, right? Does that make sense for why I choose 35? Because I think we go back to real life, right? You don't want a job. Perfect. Thank you so much. You don't want a job where you just make barely what you need, right, to pay rent, right? You always want to get a job that will provide you to what you need and a little bit extra for what you want, right? So this is the reason why. Now, we're the next thing will be the bonus and fines, which I love the emojis that I use, right? So the fines basically are your rules. Both of them are rules, classroom rules, school rules, whatever it is that you want to apply, right? And then you want to, of course, positive reinforcement, the good things that students are doing, and then reinforce and redirect for whatever it is that you don't like they're doing. And they do feel it because sometimes you have students that you have to constantly redirect and they don't have any. Once you open your store, and I'm going to talk about it right later, once you open the store, they notice, why is it that I didn't get to buy anything? Because all week or for 2 weeks I've been telling you to do this and that, and you are getting tickets, right? I know Miss Gonzalez does um like uh hand tickets. She prints out some tickets and writes it down. So if you're used to that, that's good. I started it, but to be honest, I'm not very organized in that way. So I start doing uh just the digital version, which is through the bank. Right. So we talk about the fines, and this is, you post what is it that your expectations, right? So mine were absences, arguing or fighting, dishonesty, excessive talking, I station, ISCP decrease. So you know how we're don't want the students to be an I station and just click whatever, right? And then their ISAP score goes down. Messy area or desk, move line position. That means that maybe I put them in the, with my line leader creates a line order of the line. And if she or he thinks we need to move a student from their position because they're not respecting the rules, they're playing around or talking with whoever's next to each other, that cause a fine, right? No name, no date, no title in their papers, no PE class. And this was more because PE coaches were giving me feedback like the class didn't perform very well, they were playing around, this and that, and then they receive a trophy at the end of the week. Off task behavior, redirect them for rotations if you do rotations in your kind, reported by other teacher, maybe from the cafeteria, music teacher, librarian, right? Rudeness or stealing, tardiness, uncharged laptop, not having the laptop ready, and vulgar language. These are the fines that I come up with, Ms. Gonzalez, and these are the ones that work in my classroom, right? Now, once I type them, I had a conversation with the students at the beginning of the year, and I started asking them, what do you think I should charge you for this, right? When sometimes they're like $200, $1,000, right? Because you always have those very excited students, right? I always remind them, hey, remember the bills, remember your salaries options. Like we need to be realistic, right? And we start talking about prices and things like that. Which one you think is the worst out of all of these penalties, and which one you think it should cost the most? So and if you notice, my class didn't agree with arguing and fighting, right? Or dishonesty, right? And to add the fine, again, very simple. You go to fines, you add a fine, you put in the title. I use emojis from emoji, and then I put how much I should charge for it, right? At the beginning, I put 0. So in that way, when I have the conversation with the students, I can change the price. And you can always change the price, right? Any questions? So far, so good. Are we good with the fines? And the same will be with the bonus. The same will be with the bonus. These are the bonus we work with. I try the fines to be more expensive than the bonus, right? And I think that happens in our society, right? When you get a ticket, because way more, right, than when you pay for your plates. I don't know, like your license plates, right? So I try to base it like that. So I do provide extra money for AB annual, A annual, AR points. This one is tricky. So, for example, for this one is to motivate them to read books. So, if my student made 20 points in those 6 weeks, I gave him $20. For each point, I gave him an amount of money, right? Attendance for each day attend, they get $1. Uh, change routine. This means maybe I have a student that I have to move desk, that I have to move from the line, that I have to move, and then usually in my classroom I don't have extra space. So if I move a student, that means I need to move another good student to another place because I need to move that other student to that position closer to me or make a change. So if you're the student making the sacrifice, I gave you a $5 bonus for your, like, for any inconvenience that I caused, right? Compliments from another teacher, $15, because if you, right, excellent hallway behavior, great job at the start rotations. This was a bonus that I added at the end because we were doing rotations in our grade level. I station ISAP improvement, organize this area, part-time jobs. So if they help me with any part-time jobs, I will pay them $50. Part-time jobs will be my substitutes. So I mostly have substitutes for those 7 jobs that I told you were very important in my classroom. So if anybody was absent from there, I did have that extra pay job. If you have very difficult attendance this year, because it always varies, right? Some years you have wonderful attendance in your class, and sometimes you don't. So if you have very difficult, I would choose that student that is really good at attendance and hire her as a permanent sub, right? That's an option. We do have the PE Falcon class of the week, productivity. They're being very productive when we're working. PSJA school spirit. This is about the that one was about the, you know how they have Wednesday we wear pink and it's Hispanic week and all those stuff. So I will give him $2 if they make the effort, right, to dress up and then super fat good. Um, so those are our bonus, our fines, and our bills. And the same thing, you add them, very simple, right? You just put type the bonus, right? So we can put technology maybe, and then how much you want it. But I will you always do zero at the beginning, or $1, and then change it for the students. So if you notice, I added the bonus and it was right there. And then I can edit at any time the price or delete it if I think I'm not using it anymore, right? To be honest, my banker and my students will be the ones telling me which ones I use and not, right? Sorry, it's taking longer and I don't want you to be waiting for it to delete. Any questions so far? Any questions? Are we good? Are we good? So far, so good. How you like it? How you like it? Do you think you use it? And I know some of you will be like, I know Class Dojo points and now this, because maybe you implement Class Dojo in your school. I really prefer this option. I tried to use both at the same time this year, and I wasn't able to follow up with them. Thank you so much. I'm glad you like it. And it's very simple, it's very friendly. And then you can start small, maybe, or maybe do groups. Like this group is in charge of these jobs. Like your imagination is your limit, right? So this is how I will do it. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about, the store. How can I make it sustainable, right? I do not, if your school does not provide you with prices, or maybe you don't have parents, you don't feel like asking donations to the parents, because I do have, I heard teachers that parents are very involved and they're like, Miss, what is it that you need? I'm here for you. You ask me, I provide you, right? So if you don't have any of those resources in your class or in your school, a very powerful tool will be Donors Choose. Very powerful. If you are afraid of it, AI makes it a huge difference. When you're applying for any grants through Donors Choose, it is incredible. AI will help you to create those paragraphs and all those things. It says here, we use it. but using fake money. However, it can be complicated with you have a lot of students, plus some may steal from others. So I like it. Yes, we when I started teaching at Kelly Farr, the principal used Falcon Box, right? And there was those first of all paper. Like you don't know the amount of paper. I feel so bad for the trees, right? The amount of paper we use to print out those Falcon Box. And then we use teacher aids to certify them because they didn't want fake box through the halls, right? So they were stamping them, right, with a specific stamp. And then I have fourth graders, right? But they still would tell me, Miss, when there was finally a chance to go to the store, the school store, Miss, I had $100 and now I lost this. So it was a mess. And then I will forget to give them the money. And then they will tell me, you have to cut them out because you run out of time eventually to print, cut, and all that. So it was a mess. So I really, money, it's not for me. I'm a, you look at my classroom and it looks very nice and organized, but I'm a huge procrastinator. So it's very hard for me to keep it going. So this way, and giving the control to the students, because this is what I do, guys. I do give the control to the students. I don't take care of this as much unless my banker or any of my employees tell me, Ms. Munoz, you need to add this. I need you to do this. Um, so yes, I completely agree. Using money can be difficult, and I know what you mean. Like, we'll go back to this controversial with AI. We're losing knowledge, right? Students don't know how to count money. You go to the store and they don't know how to give you coins and stuff like that. And I completely understand and the point of view, right? But you also need to understand that now we have Apple Pay and all these new ways to do it. So you're exposing your students to electronic banking, right? So Donor Choose, great tool. Have anybody used Donor Choose would like to share their experience? I give you the mic. Maybe you, because if I say it, maybe there are even people in the chat that are gonna think like, Ms. Munoz does it everything, right? But maybe anybody in the audience who has used Donor Choose and feel very grateful for all the donations they receive and they would like to give us a couple of your experience with Donor Choose. Anybody? Anybody out there? You don't have to show your camera as long as you open your mic, or you want to type it if you prefer to type it because you're maybe not in a place that you can open your mic.
Hi. So yes, Carla Rodriguez, Ms. Ada, thank you so much for your presentation today. I used it when I was in the classroom, and it was just a great resource. What blew my mind with it was that there's so many projects in there that are like trying to get funded, and for the most part they do. There's a lot of people trying to give back to the community, trying to give back to the classrooms. It's just sitting down and doing it. And now with AI, right, maybe it can help us put things together for it. But definitely the most important part is just whatever your vision is for your classroom and putting that out there so it can help you get your vision to come to life, right, with the help, because it does get expensive when you want to get creative, but just doing it is the key. And for the most part it should get funded, so do it.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Rodriguez. Hi, good morning. Yes, I completely agree. I know Bianca's a little shy, but she got funded for like 2 years ago, I think last summer, not this summer, but the previous summer, for a PD, right, for her professional development. That I think it was $3,000, I think. And she was able to take. She's our um she's reading coach. Yes, am I doing it? Or specialist? I always get confused. I'm so sorry. And she also was able to take our CLL. So yes, they do get funded. I do donor choose, but again, because I'm very procrastinated, my colleague Beatriz Gonzalez, she is a master on this, and she helps everybody in our school to get funded. So if you ever need help, let me know, and I will give you her contact information. She loves to help. One, because she wants more kids to receive all the and teachers to receive all the things they're dreaming of and they would like to use, and also because every time she helps you, she provides you with a specific link, so she gets credit for those things. So you in exchange helping her classroom and all those things. So there's an option right there, right? Thank you, thank you. And then the other option that I have for the story, if you don't feel like donor choose because maybe it will take too long until you get all this, it's teachers pay teachers. They do have free class rewards. So there are coupons, right? About using the teacher's chair or eating lunch. Move your desk for a day, shoes off. Depends on your school. I don't like shoes off because then we get fire drills and I feel it's not safety. But whatever works for you. Become the teacher's helper, extra tech time, lunch in the classroom, right? Choose from that treasure box. These are some of them. I did put this presentation on files. So uh, if you click on the images, it takes you straight to a PDF because I already downloaded and have them ready for you in case you don't have a Teachers Per Teacher accounts. If you do not, I encourage you to do it. They have a lot of freebies, right? So this is another way you can do your store if you don't feel like do it. Now, how does the store looks here? So let me show it to you. So the store, it's right here. You have the option to close or open your store. Now, you're going to see all my students' transactions, right? So as they're purchasing, they're giving you kind of like Amazon. So we go back to real life. So they're giving you the tickets of what is it that they're purchasing. So if you notice, Valentina purchased golf earbuds, goldfish, stickers, chips, more stickers, more goldfish, right? Then Nathan Gonzalez got chips, pretzels, peeps, right? Bunch of stickers, right? And Oreos. I have vanilla pudding. Like those are things that they purchase, right? So this is where my job, the job that I have for this, it's my supply manager. And the supply manager, he or she is in charge. I usually put this screen on my big board on the classroom, and I'm supervising at the same time. So she's the touch cream in the classroom, and so she's going through and getting little baggies and putting all the supplies that they order in the baggie because she's my supply manager. And then she does deliver the baggie to the student's desk. We try to reuse bags, so we use reusable baggies. So the students, as soon as they collect the items, they give back the baggies to the store manager so she can put it back, right? And she's the only one besides me who has access to the store. He or she, my supply manager, he or his substitute, and myself and other teachers, of course. So that's how we do it. So my store and all the items. So by the second semester, I wasn't even posting anymore the items. I taught my supply manager how to look for images and type the names and type it. So if you notice for the Sprout pencil, she thought $79 was a very cheap. And then if you get the Pro, because this is a free website. Right now, everything that I show you is free. If you get the Pro, you can get the inventory tool where you put there's only 79, and as they're buying, once you got zero, it will let you do it. So that's if you notice, like they have zero left and stuff like that. So these are some of the items that we have left over at the end. So I have stickers, space bookmarks, picture frames, peeps, Oreos, mechanical pencils, big I had a parent who donated tons of peeps during Easter, so I have those big candies, assorted chips, the gummies, and then the Sprout pencil. And I would put it at. So how do you add an item? You add an item, you upload a picture, right? So I'm telling you, by this point, I already have trained her to go to Google, look for the image, save it, and how to upload it, right? And then you put that item, the value, and how many do you have if you have the Pro version. But you need this is the only extra thing you have in the Pro, right? And then you can open the store. I will open the store only on Fridays. Fridays will be when I open it, and then you can close it because sometimes the students, you give access, and I will show you how I gave access to the students. So you give access to the students. Sometimes students will be on purchasing things when you're teaching, right? So I will only open the stores on Friday and a certain time, whatever works best for you. Or maybe your students did really well and it's Wednesday and you're like, hey guys, you did awesome. Let me open the store for you, right? Um, Perfect. So that will be the store. And then and then let me show you. So here, when you go to class bank, oh, where's my, sorry, there. So when you go to class bank, I did that to input all my students. So you add the students, right? You get a class code. So you copy the link, get the code, and then you go to your Google Classroom if you use it. And I have a section class community bank, and this is our bank, right? So our students will go check in through here, the link they have, and they have to log in, their student, and then they continue, and they continue with their Google account, right? And then they will ask them for the code. So in this case, this was the code for that classroom, and I have it already there, right? So I have the link and the code. Let me have it here. As 2PGU, 2PGU, QN, and then continue. And then they have the welcomes. So now this is the student version. What I love about it is the students cannot use the store. You see how it says total balance until they add and subtract their deposits and their withdrawals. So they are not able to use their money until they create their total balance. Now it's up to you. You maybe have RTI, resource students, 504s, and you would like them to use a calculator. You can definitely do that. This is why I will stay away from decimals, right? Um, so this is another way. So this is financial literacy. You talk about withdrawals and all that. Now, at the end of the year, was saying the whole year that we will have a auction, a silent auction in our classroom. So I was collecting prices that, sometimes they give you things like, oh, my mom is one of those, and then I do have friends. Oh, you want to this is stuffed animals, or I got these. What do I got? I got some toys to at the end of and I start saving them, big items. And at the end of the year, I create a silent auction where they start posting how much would they pay for the items. I got some Pokemon cards too, packets, stuff like that. So the kids were going crazy with it, right? So this is the students. So I go to my class and I see the jobs opening. This is me as a student, right? So let's say I want to do the door holder and I want to apply now, right? And then this rank of choices will be, well, you know what? I really want to be the door holder. This is my first choice. I want to be this job. And then they can do up to 3 jobs, right? And then they have to explain it. What experience have you have? I was a door holder last year. I will help my librarian all the time, right? Little things. And then why you want this job? I really want this job because I think I can do it really well. So you give an example to the students and then you submit your application as a student. And once you get hired, you start getting paid, right? Uh, just a reminder, Debbie put it in the chat. Please be sure you put the ER code. You register for this PD so you get credit for it, and then you check in for it. Right now, it's any question so far. I asked for permission. So if you would like to donate to our cause, this is my QR code. Right, a change reaction of support starts with 1 share. If you don't have the opportunity to donate, maybe you want to share this image with anybody else that you know they're looking for donating. And right now, I'm gonna open the chat and the mic. I know I still have a lot of time, a couple of minutes for any questions. Do you have any questions or concerns to me for me? Any questions? Any questions? Because this is how basically how we will use it. If you have no questions, I will show you a small video um on my students. Thank you so much. I'm glad you like it. We still have a couple minutes before your lunch break, right? But if you have any questions or would like to talk, I've been using these jobs, how you come up with 20 some jobs, let me know. We can have that conversation right now. Anybody? Any questions? Any doubts? Maybe you don't feel like using it. Have you got any donations from Donors Choose? Yes, tons of them. Actually, let me show you right now. So I have books. I got donations from books. Most of my last year, I was able to get tons of donations. All the chips, the puddings, the gummies, all those things were donated through Donors Choose. Books in Spanish too. Um, Let me see. No questions for me. Great info. I'm glad. Thank you. Miss Gonzalez is there in the chat. Miss Gonzalez, I told everybody that if they needed help with Donor Choose, that you are the person to reach out. I hope you don't mind. I know you love helping people. So I told them. There she is. Thank you. Great presentation. Thank you so much. Thank you. If you have any questions, please let me know. Um, so we can, like, how do you come up with the jobs, or if any, I can send them my referral link. Yes, please do so. Yes. Can you share the list of bonus and fines? Yes, I can. Yes, definitely I can do that. Yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me see. Let me just go to the nurse choose very quickly. So you can see some of the projects that we've been granted. To be honest, it's all thanks to Ms. Gonzalez. She's the one who helps me and reminds me to post and answer and say thank you. Right. So right now, let me see. Projects. Right. So right now the project that we have is this one. That's the QR code that I give you, right? So it's for Cheez-Its, pencils, Kleenex, because at the beginning of the year we need in mods, right? And we also have inspired bilingual students with diverse reading, right? And exploring life science through books. We have those right now. You can also check on projects near your school. Maybe you want to support somebody from your campus and you're not aware, right? So this is Miss Salinas, a fourth grade teacher. This is Miss De La Rosa from College Career and Technology Academy, and she started with 1,000 and now she needs 600, right? Um, this is from Miss Garza, my kindergarten teacher. So there's no big projects. Okay, this is Miss Gonzalez, right? So she only from 191 only needs 96. So there's tons of it, right? Um, these are the ones that you can find around it. Oh, no, no, no. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, yes, I do get funded very often. I think I got funded 4 or 5 times last year. So I hope I can get funded this year again. But yes, please give it a try. I know it sounds complicated. Maybe you feel like, no, this year, but if you give it a try, believe me, you're going to love it. It's just a schedule management. You need to be sure your students will remind you all the time. Means you need to pay for this, you need to do this, you need to do that, and then you just need to be there to supervise, but you don't need to be exactly there. So I use my laptop. I gave my laptop to my banker. They take care of the items, and I'm using my desktop, and then they stay with me either before school, during conference, or after school a little bit to help paying all those things, right? There you go. For Donors Choose, always try to get matching projects. So your projects, yes. So Donors Choose usually sends newsletters, and they tell you right now, for example, on Wednesday, August 14, every donation to every project would receive 50% match. So right now, if you give me $1, they will give me $2, right? If you help us support if you're supporting anybody today, right? So thanks to the Montgomery Family Fund. So this is one of the funds that right now they're doubling every donation. So today, especially requesting books. So I do have two for books. So if you want to donate, this is the perfect time to do so, and it will double. You will see this logo when you're donating saying that they're doubling it, all the projects. And let's see. Any other questions, any suggestions, or anything that I can provide you with, guys? Besides the fines and bonus, I will send you those right now. I haven't forgot. Anything else?